That seems to be the debate is people generally think Canada does not have a fentanyl issue. So I figured, why don't we get you on the pod and chat about it?
Appreciate you coming to me. I've been working on this for at least 10 years. I'm seen as the subject matter expert on this in CSIS. People have literally told me that. I'm seen as the subject matter expert by people in Taiwan, the US government. I talk to US officials. Full stop. I'll give you the straight goods here. British Columbia, especially, should be seen because it is in the same context as the west coast of Mexico and Panama in terms of an international node of transnational drug trafficking and money laundering. My book, Willful Blindness, talked about a case where a BC, apparently legitimate but not businessman connected to the casino money laundering scandal was caught with 85 tons of precursors for methamphetamine and fentanyl. You get tens of millions of pills, enough to kill everyone in Canada, a few times over. So that's one case, 85 tons. The super lab in Falkland. Okay, why is organized crime putting industrial scale labs out in the BC boonies in the mountains? It's because, there's only one or two cops there, and they have direct access to British Columbia's ports. This has come from none other than Delta's police chief and mayor say that one of the fourth busiest port in North America, the Delta port, less than 1% of containers are searched. This is on the record. Municipal high-level politicians are saying this gives organized crime a direct access to Canada's west coast. Another figure, 2022, 1,000 kilograms of fentanyl precursors were caught by CBSA. That is one load caught, and that's a huge load. Again, enough to kill everyone in North America if that's like pressed up in an extremely hot or toxic batch of fentanyl. One more at that Falkland lab, busted recently by the RCMP. Look, that's a DEA American investigation. I'm aware that the Americans don't have confidence that we will be able to prosecute anyone in that case, but 95 million doses of fentanyl was the capacity there, and the RCMP confirmed that was outbound. They didn't say it's going to America. I think they've indicated, in other countries, so that could be Japan, Australia. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, under the previous administration, came up and told Brad West, the mayor of Port Coquitlam, interestingly, he didn't go to David Eby. He went to Brad West, who's been a strong voice on this, and he said, remember, this is the Biden administration. British Columbia and Canada have a deep weakness in their laws regarding fentanyl and organized crime, and America needs them and wants them to be a partner on investigating fentanyl.
There, it was in the Globe and Mail saying, "Oh, drugs seized by U.S. authorities at land borders is, the northern border, and it's just this tiny little speck in comparison to, say, the southwest border." But to your point, I mean, it sounds like, if 99% of the cargo at the ports isn't being inspected or checked, I mean, if you don't police it, I mean, how do you catch it? So I don't know if you have any rebuttal to that sort of data point that was put out by the Globe and
It's
Mail.
put out first, by our public safety minister. It's put out, as I know, by Justin Trudeau's prime minister's office staff, and then it's dutifully picked up by CBC, the Globe and Mail. Guys, I know now, since I've been in Ottawa for 5 years, this is how people get stories. They become sourced up with the Prime Minister's office. And I'm sorry, I've said it openly. It's a corrupt Prime Minister's office, and the Americans know it's been corrupted. That is, there are concerns, in open source and in policing that bad people are surrounding Justin Trudeau and his staff. So, I mean, just to your point, when you hear a narrative from the Justin Trudeau government on fentanyl, in my opening sort of salvo here, I've given you the data points that show British Columbia is used as a node of transnational drug trafficking. The bigger or equal concern is Canada's economy, especially Vancouver, Toronto, is used as a massive hub of money laundering activity in real estate. In banks, we don't have to rehash the Toronto Dominion Bank case. The gangs are selling pharmaceutical opioids to get more money for their fentanyl trafficking. So the scale of this is only growing. But what this leaked audit suggests is that David Evy's health response, Justin Trudeau's health response to our opioid crisis has not only made it worse, that is, more people will die, but corruption has gotten right into the BC Health Ministry, and it's a growing story.